Hello, everyone. Hello. We are about to get started in just a moment. I know you can't hear me. It's okay. I'm just talking to my chat. Alex. Don't worry. Don't you worry. I'm just talking to my chat. Don't you worry your little heads off. Okay, anyway, everybody seemed very alarmed that I started talking, so that's just what I'm doing. Oh my god, thank you to Pob64 for subscribing. Tommy says this is a nightmare. Okay, Alex is lighting a match. Not really sure what's going on there. Thank you for subscribing. I don't think the alert noise played, but maybe I just didn't hear it. Anyway, I'm going to turn my music down. No more music. And now I'm going to hop over to the Hangout. Are we ready for them to see you? Are we ready? Everyone's kind of nodding, so I'm going to say we're ready. Hello, I'm unmuted. The audience can see you.
Wow, there we are.
Hey.
Finally. Hello.
Hey. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hello.
Couple things up top. Hello and welcome to the stream. This is the start of the stream. We are going to be playing INHUMAN Conditions, which is a board game that we can also play via just Google Hangouts. This is correct, Tommy? Okay, great.
That's right. Yeah.
My name is Abby Russell, because I know this is also going out to a few other streams. Hello to the newsies. And hello to Alex's audience as well. That was for Casey's audience. Get it?
No, I don't get it.
Really high level joke, Abby.
I thought it was funny. Anyway.
You'd have to.
Anyway.
A couple of things up top real quick. This is a very me-focused thing. But I did get Gilbert Gottfried to do a cameo. So we got a whole mess of new sounds for the soundboard. They should work. Okay. I tested them. They should work.
I will say, I have heard all of them in quick succession. Truly incredible.
You saw the video. I gave him 4 prompts. He did even more. So I think there were like 11 sound bites in total.
Unbelievable.
Wow. Yes. Anyway, INHUMAN Conditions. I want to introduce our guests first. I will start with Alex Boniello. Alex, who are you and where can people find your work?
Hello, everybody. I feel like most people who are on Abby's stream at this point know me as a friend to GiantBomb.com and also just a friend to Abby. But my name's Alex. I'm an actor. I was in a handful of Broadway shows. This is how I'm hanging out now, doing stuff like this. I don't know. Is that enough?
Twitch. Yeah, that sounded great. I'm sorry for laughing in the middle of it. Gilbert Gottfried started talking in the middle of your speech there, so it was.
Well, I can't.
That's
quite,
just like him.
Anyway,
I can't quite fucking.
I'm making Gilbert louder. Don't worry. Okay, so sorry, Alex. Yes, follow Alex. He's streaming this as well. Eventually, hopefully, one day I'll be partner too, and we can stream together. Same with Casey Malone.
I'm sure you will be.
Casey, you are also streaming this, correct? Casey, who are you?
True.
Where can people find you?
Well, I'm Casey Malone, and you can find me at twitch.com/Casey_Malone or Twitter at Casey Malone.
Great. Casey, thank you for being here.
I'm still figuring out intros on these things. I'm not used. People ask me where they can find me, and I simply answer the question and move on. And then there's a long pause afterwards where people wonder if there's a bit, but I just close my mouth and nod quietly.
I think that's perfectly fair.
If it makes you feel any better, Casey, recently I think I started to really turn on the self-awareness switch. And I realized that when I start to make like really sad jokes about the theater industry being dead, that
people don't like it.
It makes people very uncomfortable, but it's sort of my way of processing the moment. But I did have a moment recently where I was like, yeah, I'm an Alex. I've done some Broadway shows, but my dreams are dead now. And I just heard somebody go like, it actually may have been Ben. I believe I heard him go, oh. I was like, oh. So I stopped.
Well, is Ben also an actor?
He probably means Ben Pack, I assume.
I do in fact mean Ben Pack.
Ben Pack is an actor.
Maybe another Broadway actor who heard the news from you that their dreams were dead.
8 months into the Broadway shutdown, they just found out about it.
Anyway, Tommy.
Yeah, hello.
Saving the best for last.
Oh,
Tommy,
stop.
Who are you? What do you do?
Yeah, how's that feel, Casey?
Hi,
I'm Tommy Maranges. I'm the co-creator of the board games Secret Hitler and Inhuman Conditions, which we're playing tonight. I have a Twitter account, but I'm constantly trying to stop myself from using it. And most recently, I blocked it at the host level on my computer, so I just absolutely cannot connect to it. Yeah, so you're welcome to follow me, but don't expect tweets or anything. I mostly try to stay in a cave and actually do work instead of shuffling around the edges. You guys know how it is. Yeah.
Oh boy, do I.
Oh,
I muted everybody. I believe Abby knows this. I went through every single person I follow, and I mean, I'm talking loved ones, talking like
makes
old
me feel
friends.
real good.
Every single person has been muted and now all I get are Wirecutter deals and I think like GameSpot, just so I know when things are coming out.
It's a fucking weeb.
That seems like a good idea. I did that too for a while, and I have everyone on lists, but it was one of those things where in the run up to the election, I was like, I need to be not on Twitter for sure. And now that I'm off, I'm like, oh my God.
It's nice, right?
I feel so alive.
Yeah, it's seems healthy. Well, too bad I'm addicted to it. All of my self-validation's on Twitter. Please follow me. Anyway, shall we hop into the game? Tommy, you made this game.
Yeah,
so
what's up?
What do we do? How do we play?
Okay, cool.
Tommy, can I first say that I just got my copy of this game. I said this to you off stream already. This is gorgeous. The physical copy of this game is absolutely. Abby's been to my house and she has seen how many fucking board games I have.
Yeah.
And this one really stands out as being a nice object in my home. So really well done.
It's true. Casey both has good taste. His house looks nice, and then also, he knows board games. Oh, that does look nice.
Yeah, and then it flaps open.
Wow, that is some nice packaging.
The components all feel really unique to the game too, which is really impressive to me.
Yeah, we made stamps.
It's not just full of a bunch of cubes.
Like you're a banker.
Yeah.
That's
so
sick.
Thank you. One of my great skills as a board game designer is hiring Max Schubert to do the art for my games, and so far that has paid off tremendously.
As a game designer, I could not empathize more with just hiring people who are really good at stuff and then hitching your wagon to them.
Isn't that the key to all art is just collaborating with people who are better than you and make things look better? You know what I mean? It's you bring your own shit and they bring their own shit, and then it's a perfect meld of art.
Yeah, that's a less self-deprecating way to put it, which is why probably the difference between you and Tommy and I get the sense.
But right, offloading that and being like, here, you take care of it, and I always feel really good about that.
Great, I'm excited.
I sent over the link for those of you who don't have a physical copy, or Casey, in case you haven't had a chance to sort the cards for your copy.
I have not.
So wait,
that's
do you need
totally
this
fine.
Open?
Yeah, this will help me teach the game.
Okay.
I'll hold cards up to the camera as I go, but basically, here's what's going to happen. Inhuman Conditions is a 2-player, 5-minute interrogation where one of us is going to be an investigator for the Bureau of Identity Compliance, whose job is to determine whether the other player is a human or a robot.
Okay.
It's that simple.
Great.
Humans, if you're a human, your job is very easy. Your job is to convince, let's say me, the investigator, that you're a human. For 5 minutes, be as normal as possible. Get a blue stamp on the VK82 short form. It says human. It's got a little brain on it. Go home to your family. Any questions about being a human?
Not yet, but you said it was
for the game,
normally,
I think probably not.
Definitely, totally.
Sorry, I'm sorry. This is
rating, by the way. Anyway, carry on.
This is not fun stream talk. Where did you send that PDF?
Oh, the Hangout chat.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm looking at the first link in the PDF.
Yeah, just the very first link.
Okay.
There's a bunch of PDFs.
If I open the stream chat, did anyone say anything horrible?
I don't think so. Anyway,
right.
Thank you to Megaran for rating. We're about to play Inhuman Conditions, and we're learning the rules, so perfect timing.
Nice. So, if you're a human, just act normal. Now, if you're a robot, things get a little more complicated. some robots are what we call patient robots.
Okay.
And if you open up the small talk catalyzers file there, you can see some examples of the robots. And don't worry about the human cards, the maze. I'll explain that later if we need it. But if you're a robot and you're a patient robot, you have some constraint. Like you may not mention any people besides strangers or enemies.
Okay.
Or you may not express opinions. You may only state observable facts. Now, you can see how if you weren't allowed to have opinions, you could only state facts. That would make it difficult, but by no means impossible to make small talk.
Okay.
Right? And as a patient robot, your job is exactly the same as a human's. It's convince me, the investigator, that you're a human, get a blue stamp on the VK82 short form, and go home to your family. The only difference is you have this constraint and your family doesn't exist.
Okay. No family.
No family.
That's sad.
Well, you're a robot, so it doesn't matter.
Well, some robots can be wives.
That's sure. Well, that's controversial. Here at the Bureau, we don't like to acknowledge robot emotions
or husbands,
minds.
Abby.
Or husbands, or partners, or just robot children. They can fly solo. Robot don't need no man.
Wait, so you're saying robot children should not be married?
No, I'm saying if a robot wanted to have kids out of marriage, I support it.
Okay.
Anyway,
Great.
carry on.
Okay. That's a real sticky one for me as an investigator. I don't think they should be able to do anything, but I also don't think they should be able to get married.
Who made 'em?
Okay, so that's patient robots. You might instead be a violent robot. Sometimes the robot catalyzer, it goes a little crazy, and we get robots who want to kill the investigators.
Whoa, fun.
Wow.
Right. Now, if you're a violent robot, you'll see that you have a checklist of 3 things. So, for example, this one says, describe 3 verbal disagreements you've had, insult the investigator twice.
Ooh, fun.
And the last one says, perform the penalty twice. I'll explain the penalty in a second. But as a violent robot, your job is to do any 2 of these 3 things over the course of 5 minutes.
Wow.
And then wait 10 seconds. And then slap the table or move quickly towards the camera to indicate that you've killed the investigator.
Ooh.
Okay, you're gonna have to repeat that again for me later, but
That's
down.
totally fine. Here's why there's 2 kinds of robots, and that'll help you sort of contextualize it. Patient robots have a constraint, and violent robots have a drive, like a thing they have to do. Okay. So we're creating like a Goldilocks situation. As a human, you can't just be like, I'm going to be quiet, and that way you'll know I'm not a violent robot. Or I'm just going to keep talking, and that way you know I can do everything, right? You've got a robot on either side, and you got to shoot the gap. You know that thing at a party where you talk, and then you think, okay, and now I've said the right amount of stuff, and I'm going to stop talking now. And then you do, and it goes perfectly.
That in my life.
That's how to be a human successfully.
Wait, you mean like when you go to a party and then you start talking, you're like, oh my God, everyone loves us. Then you keep talking, and keep talking, and then you go home later and you're like, oh my God, they hate me. That?
Yeah, that. You're going to do great, Abby. You're going to be so good at this game.
Yeah, you've gamified my worst nightmare. Congratulations.
Thank you. Our goal was to make a social deduction game that wasn't just about yelling, but that in fact weaponized all human interaction. And I feel really proud of how far into that we got. Okay.
And so I'm assuming too, like I'm seeing these, the people watching the streams at home are not seeing them, but we've basically got card kind of things that look like you would slide them into like, like a time punch sheet kind of thingy.
Yeah.
But it'll be it'll be pretty clear too. I feel like this is the kind of thing where as you're explaining it to me, there we go.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of those things we'll have a round of like, I think I know. And then you do it. Then it's like, I know.
Oh,
and then
yes, that's exactly right.
Within 20 minutes, we're all like giving the developer notes on their own game.
My only question is, considering we are doing this over the internet, like most robots would, how do we know what card we get? How do we know any of that stuff? Like, also, for instance, I'm doing it the first time. If I'm a robot and I'm like, I don't fully understand the rules, where can I check that without being like, hey, I'm a robot, what do I do?
Totally. So I'll walk you through the opening process. We're just going to use like dice to determine what your card is.
Okay. Should we all have that? Or do you
should I get a dice?
You can get a die, or you can just use like a Google, like you can just use a Google roller. Oh no, gamers are hell yeah. Everyone's like,
I used to play D&D.
please. I have dice.
What do we need? D6?
Weirdly, a D12.
D12.
And a D6. Yeah, the least used die.
Okay. I think that's a D12. I got
How
these
many dice do we need, real quick?
Not that many.
I got the Mountain Dew dice. From,
Hell yeah.
GameStop.
Wait, are those actually Mountain Dew dice?
No.
Oh.
From GameStop.
I think I just like the slime colors.
I mean, look, if there was ever a believable lie, Abby's going to be great at this game.
Yeah.
The Mountain Dew dice from
where those would
GameStop.
happen.
I am a robot.
I am a robot, and I love Mountain Dew and my wife.
Sorry, you said a 12 and a what?
Maybe
And
a
a
6.
6.
Oh, the regular guy.
Do you do
I
D&D?
found-
Why do you have these? I'm kind of shocked, Alex. You're too normal.
Me?
Yeah.
I've been known to play Dungeons and Dragons for charity.
Alex, you
I
don't
see.
seem normal to me. You just seem handsome, and I think that
Yeah,
tricks
that's a
people
key
into thinking you're
distinction.
normal.
Yeah, Broadway, that bastion of normalcy.
Yeah, I was about to
Nice.
say, like, never assume. There they
Yeah.
are.
Ooh.
Ooh, they're
Real heavy
they're-
boys.
No,
They're
these are mine.
iron.
Mine aren't
Oh.
that expensive.
And I'm currently feeling real good that I clipped my nails today
I
because
know, me too. Check them
Yeah.
out. Clean.
I just opened a whole box of magic cards on stream, so I clipped my nails right before that.
Nice, nice.
Okay. Real quick, there's one other thing you need to know. And that's that before, so I want to, that's the penalty that is on those violent robot cards. The penalty is a card that in the actual copy looks like this, and you'll have a whole file of them.
Okay. Great.
This one says answer a question in exactly 5 words. This one says say 3 words beginning with consecutive letters of the alphabet, like
my God.
always be closing. I know. And they always feel impossible. So here's how I know that the things I can tell we got really right are the things that people complain about from both sides.
Okay.
Like at conventions, people will be like, how come the game is 10 minutes? Or how come the game isn't 10 minutes? Or how come the game isn't 3? And I'm like, oh, perfect. So it felt like the wrong amount of time to both sides. Nailed it. We got it exactly right.
Okay.
The penalty is like a safety valve for the robots. If a patient robot violates their rule, let's say you say an opinion, even though you're not supposed to, you don't lose. But once before the end of the round, you have to perform the penalty for each time you've broken your rule.
Have y'all seen the Nexium documentary?
No.
Anyway,
Neither
it's
of them.
more.
There's two,
there's
right?
a few. Yeah, there's a couple. Stars one is better. HBO one's not very good. Anyway, it reminded me of something from it, but it doesn't matter. It's kind of sad too. It's about like a cult
Cool.
people are abused.
Hell yeah, that's a great thing to hear. That's,
Talk more about it.
I love that.
Well, it's just like penance of like you fuck
Yeah.
up, you got to do penance. But it's much more of a manipulation tactic. It's icky. Anyway, carry on.
Right.
And Alex has left the stream.
If you're a violent robot, the third checklist item is always perform the penalty twice, which means you like if you can't do one of the other two, it clears away that, right? Like it gives you a safety valve. Like you can always do that third thing, which is performing the penalty.
Okay.
And where the adapted penalty files, that's what we need.
Yeah, exactly. Although I will probably I can just hold up penalties here. And you can write yourself, you might want to write up like a post-it or something of what the penalty that we have is, like for your round.
Okay.
But we'll get there. As a human, you should never do the penalty. The penalty is like belching during a sobriety test. It's not illegal, but it does draw attention. So don't do it unless you need to because you're going to throw up or because you violated your rule.
Okay. Great.
Right? Think of this as like a robot sobriety test. Everybody's trying to come up human.
Got it.
Great.
Do we have
Okay.
enough info to start?
I think so.
Okay, great.
I'll do the first investigation.
Okay.
Yes.
Who wants to be in the hot seat?
Let's roll a- let's-
Me. Okay.
Okay.
No,
I
we'll
was
do
going to
Casey's
suggest
method.
Well, that
roll
was
a
a very fair way
die.
to do it.
Roll a
Casey.
die, roll a die. Yeah, okay. So let's all roll a d6, and whoever
Well,
gets
I
the
was-
highest wins.
Okay.
Or goes
Sure.
in
Yep.
order, like whoever's highest, and then next, and then next. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Great.
I got a 3.
I got a 1.
I got a 1. So me and Casey tiebreaker.
Okay.
I got a 1. Okay.
Oof.
So Alex,
So
Casey,
Abby
me.
goes last.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So what
Okay.
do I need? So I will be investigated now, right?
That's right.
And I am
That's
either a human or a robot.
That's right.
How do I know which one?
That is such a good question, Alex. But before we get to that, even we're gonna pick a penalty together.
how do I know if
Okay.
I'm a robot is basically all of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's-
Mhm.
or even better, why do I know I'm a robot? Okay.
I'm going to draw 3 penalties, and I'm going to discard one of them,
Okay.
and then you're going to pick from the other 2. So your options here are compliment the investigator and answer a question in exactly 5 words. You want to pick which of those you think you could sneak by without being too obvious.
Okay, cool. Got it.
Okay?
I feel good. Yeah.
Which
I
of
picked one.
these great, which one did you pick?
Oh, I have to tell you?
Yeah, you tell me.
Compliment the investigator.
Compliment the investigator. That's great. That's
Okay.
great. Before you find out whether you're human or robot, we're going to calibrate my machinery. I need to know that my machinery responds correctly and appropriately to you. So purely for science,
know what he
you
means.
understand. I need you to compliment me.
This game seems like a lot of fun and I'm excited to play it.
Oh, that's very nice of you to say. Could you compliment something else about me?
Wow, I love this game so far. I want to be the investigator.
I was about to say I want to be the investigator. Those glasses are great on you.
Wow, thank you, Alex. And just one more time, obviously for the science.
Yeah, of course. You have a great beard. I wish I could grow one.
Oh, can you not?
That's nice of you to say. Okay, we've successfully calibrated the machine. Now we're going to decide what module we want to do. This is what topic area we're going to talk about. So on that page that I've sent you, you'll see a list of titles. I can answer questions about any of those. They sort of go in order of like complexity or
Where do we find
difficulty.
this?
So this is all the robot catalyzers, like that just column of PDFs under the heading robot catalyzers.
Mm-hmm.
So we could talk. So small talk is the one we already went through. That's the introductory packet. We could do creative problem solving, imagination. What do you want to prove to me, Alex? You can do a normal human amount.
Out of the things on the robot thing?
That's right.
Oh, fun. Wow.
Well, not hopes and dreams because we've established they're dead.
Should I tell the people watching at home what the options are just for fun?
Sure.
I
Great.
also put this
So-
link in my chat. That's okay, right?
Yes.
Okay. I did that, and then
Oh,
after
should
I
I
was like,
do that
ooh,
too?
okay.
What
Yeah,
is
that
that
way
okay?
people
Should I
can
do that
see
too?
what we're
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. This
And
is
robots.management is the site where they could actually buy the game if they want, right? From you
Right.
directly?
that's right. They can buy the game, they can get the PDF, the print and play, or they can get the adapted rules that we've created
Right.
so that you can play over chat like this.
Cool.
That's awesome. Thank you for suggesting that. I didn't even consider that, Abby. So great. Now everybody watching on, I think, all the streams has the same shit we're looking at, just so you know. So I'm not going to read all of the things because then I don't need to. Why don't I do an imagination?
Great. So you're going to go ahead and click into the robot catalyzers file for imagination,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to roll it. You're going to roll that D12 now.
Okay.
You're not going to tell me what you got.
And is this a
Okay.
thing where if we're human or if we're robot, we should be honest, like to our real selves? Or does it matter if we just want to make shit up? Does it matter?
I'm
what does
not
that
sure I
mean,
understand
what
the
you
question.
said?
Like
Yeah.
we're gonna
Thank
be
you, Casey.
talking. I don't know. Will before this was like, this is the only game that's made me cry. So like, is this a thing where like when you're answering questions, proving you're a human, do you want to pull from your real life experiences, or is it just like you're talking? It doesn't matter if it's true or false.
That's a good question. Based on that playtest where Will Smith cried, we added roll cards where so Alex will have a character. He won't be necessarily playing as himself.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay, so Alex, you've rolled.
I have rolled.
Great. If you got a 1 to 6, you're a human. Just stay on that first page.
Okay.
Otherwise, starting at the first patient robot, just count 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 are the violent robots.
Oh,
and that's your card.
cool. That's neat. That's a neat way to do it.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Great.
It's
know
fun
which card is
watching people
yours?
who've never done like paper play tests before do one. It's very
I
Mhm.
do know what card is mine.
Great. Okay.
Sounds like a robot thing to say to me.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Okay. Finally, so let's see. Imagination. I am going to give you 3 roll card options, and you're gonna use that to inform your character, so that you don't have to.
Are you going to show this to me, or do I have to?
No, I'm going to show this to you because I have the physical cards. We also have a file for if people don't have them, but here it's easier just to. So your options here are cult leader, bodybuilder, and amateur wrestler.
Well, Jesus fucking Christ, I'm really having trouble. Wow, those are all really good.
This is definitely the best part of the game to write, for sure.
Oh my God, I think that I have no choice but to do bodybuilder.
Ooh,
Bodybuilder, great.
something you
Yeah.
can relate to.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what sort of bodies is it that you build?
The human body, like
The human body.
abs, pectorals, triceps.
Let's see. Finally, can I have you state your name for the record? And you can use your name or. Go ahead.
I have so many options. There are so many names under the sun. How about just Mr. Universe?
Okay. So Mr. is your first name?
Yes, of course. Mister. Yes, Mister, the full thing, and then last name is Universe.
Okay. Do you have a middle initial?
Absolutely not.
Great. Okay.
Is this part of the test? I can't tell.
So yes. Here's
Okay.
what's going on. Like this setup helps us. Like now, Alex and I have agreed on a lot of things. We know what a compliment looks like. He's had a chance to like practice. He has a character that he's establishing. We know.
I am
what theory-
overjoyed already, by the way. I'm having a blast.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so glad to hear that. Let's see. Oh, I forgot about the timer. Let's see. I can
Did
just
we
run
ask
one.
the robot questions or no? Do we just sit here?
Eventually, sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
just curious.
that's we can get there. No, totally.
Okay.
Let's see, Abby. This is boring technical stuff. How easy is it to pipe the audio of a page in if I send you the page?
Easy. It's just
Great.
gonna play my desktop audio. So.
Okay,
Will
cool.
we hear it, or will that only be for your stream?
No, it'll just be for me.
Okay.
Do you
Is
need
there a
everyone
way
to
to?
hear it?
I can open it on my end as well, and the same thing will happen.
I don't think I could do that without getting y'all's echo back into this Google
All right.
Hangout, which would be a nightmare. So I'm gonna say no.
Great.
Not
Great. Then don't
on the
worry
fly,
about it.
at least. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, don't worry about it. That's totally fine. We also have a timer app, but we don't need that. Or I could maybe run it. I could run
do
the
it
audio.
on my phone, and then it'll probably pick up on my microphone.
Yeah, I can do that over here too. Let's
Okay,
see.
cool.
Oh, it's playing on my Bluetooth headphones. Those aren't helpful.
I have my timer up and ready if you want.
This is a really impressive this time I really thought this was just going to be a timer. This is a very impressive sort of web portal for the game. Is this going to prompt us with questions as well, or is it just a really pretty timer?
It's a very pretty timer that gives every minute it gives you a countdown. Like it lets you know how much time you have left, so you don't have to keep looking at the timer.
Gotcha.
Please remain calm.
Can you guys hear that?
Do not
Yes.
attempt
Yeah.
to leave the room.
Great.
This will all be over soon. 5 minutes.
Okay, so I will start that when we're about to go. But before I do that, I'm going
Okay.
to read some brief instructions. Mr. Universe,
Yes.
in a moment, I'm going to ask you some questions about imagination. These will require you to invent original characters, stories, and ideas, and discuss the implications of the things you've invented. Answer honestly and to the best of your ability. If you're a human, you have nothing to fear. Do you have any questions for me before we begin, Mr. Universe?
I don't think so. And if at this point, if I make a mistake, we'll all learn together.
Sounds great.
Please remain calm. Do not attempt to leave the room. This will all be over soon. 5 minutes starts now.
Mr. Universe, if you could have any magical power, what would it be?
Probably the ability to fly, or teleport. Actually, let's say teleport. I would love the ability to teleport so that I don't have to deal with like getting around people. I'm just where I need to be.
Wow, great. Way to right out of the box. Very imaginative. Let's say now you had a nemesis. Do you have a nemesis?
Yes, definitely. This person, I don't even want to utter their name because I hate them so much. However, Mr. Galaxy. Mr. Galaxy is, in fact, a piece of shit.
Okay.
He does not have the body that I have, but he wants it.
Now, in this universe where you have the ability to teleport, what magical power does Mr. Galaxy have?
4 minutes remain.
Mr. Galaxy has the ability to gallop like a horse. He's very, very fast, and unfortunately, this goes well in physical competition for him. If I teleport, people say, "Oh my God, you're cheating," but Mr. Galaxy can gallop like a horse, and he goes, and he's very, very, very fast as a result.
And fast is good in bodybuilding competitions?
Well, just in feats of strength in general. You know, if you want to like lift a tree, you need to, you know, have strong legs, and he's built them through his galloping.
I see. Okay. Yeah, that's why every runner I know is great at deadlifting. Let me ask you this. Let's say there's a planet that you're going to have your final battle with Mr. Galaxy on. How would you design the planet to give you the maximum edge in that fight?
Definitely would be. So I assume you've played Super Smash Brothers. There's that level
3
called the
minutes
Final
remain.
Destination, or whatever it's called, the final whatever. It's just a flat ass. We are floating above an ether, a swirling nether, and then like a bunch of like creatures fall from the sky sometimes as weaponry. So like if like a giant goose fell from the sky, I could catch it and fucking smack Mr. Galaxy.
So I'm going to totally change directions here.
Sure.
And I want you to describe an impossible shape for me.
Describe an impossible shape.
Yeah.
May I ask questions back?
Please.
What impossible how? Or in whatever way I want.
Yeah. Impossible shape. What do you got? Show me how imaginative you are.
Okay, an impossible
You can do
shape.
this.
Well, yeah, no, I definitely can. I know this guy who has a head that is so square
2
because he is
minutes remain.
so strong in the bodybuilding competitions, and it's just like I look at him and I'm like, that's impossible. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just like emotionally impossible for me to deal with how square his jaw and head is.
And what do you tell me what's the most tragic ending you can think of for the saga of the man with the square head?
For the man with the square head, well, nothing is sadder than losing your gains. I once saw this this incredible, beautiful gorilla in the wild, and it was like so. Thanks, Abby. I'll be here all week. This gorilla was so strong, and it was so beautiful, and it was built so incredibly well. But it was not eating enough calories, and the gains started going. So I think that the saddest thing I can imagine for the square-headed man
1 minute.
would be to lose his gains. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to start a story, and I want you to continue it.
Sure.
Once upon a time, a carrot, an elf, and an ocean went on an adventure together.
30 seconds.
First, they went to, and you take it from there.
The gym, but specifically, it's a gym made of all organic life. So it's like, have you ever seen one of those gyms in like high-end resorts where like everything is made of like
10,
trees
9,
and like
8,
boulders
7,
and like
6,
it's like that. That's
5,
where they went.
4, 3,
Okay.
2.
So here's what's going to
1.
happen now.
Investigator, please make your final
I'm going to
determination.
ask you one last question.
Sure thing.
This is your last chance to perform any penalties or unfinished checklist items you have. And you kind of can't stop answering until you've cleared whatever debt you've built up. If you don't have any debt, either because you're human or you're a patient robot who's all square, then just answer simply, and then we'll send you on your way.
And may I think I'm good. Can I be wrong in saying that?
Maybe, and
Okay.
we'll just have to. Yeah, I mean, like if
Okay.
like maybe you'll tell us your thing, and we'll go, hey, but there was that time, and then we'll know. But
Okay,
no, if
sure.
you think you're good.
I'll do my best to be honest. Yes.
Yeah, great. Okay, let's see. What do you think would be the most popular breakfast item in a world without bacon or eggs?
In a world without bacon or eggs. Well, I personally, the chat, there it goes. Well, let me just go ahead and get out of the way. As a vegan,
Oh boy.
I do not need to eat pigs. I do not need to eat the eggs of a chicken. I believe
that was so much more obnoxious than as a vegan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. You better believe it. I've had practice. That said, I truly believe there is nothing like a slam dunk smoothie. If you get it right, if the bananas are frozen, if there is some sort of nut butter in there with some sort of extra ice, chocolate powder, some greens, there really are few better ways to start your day. And I think if we're going to just go in the opposite direction of like bacon, I think it's smoothie. So that's how I feel.
Great. Okay. Now, before I make my call and we do all the big reveal, Abby, Casey, you wanna talk thoughts here? This is a good opportunity to
Trying to think of unusual things that happened in his conversation. He brought up animals a lot in a way that was weird and unusual. And I'm like, this feels like a thing a robot would do. He had to bring up animals 3 times or something. I don't know. That gorilla thing really threw me for left field.
because I'm gonna make my I think I know what call I'm gonna make.
Okay.
This is just like, okay, we're all learning the game here together. What do we think? What did we see? I agree. The animals thing was a lot. It was a lot. And I was like very ready to like let it go. And then like the egg of a chicken. That was what I was like, all right, man, that's a you really shoehorned that one in there. Yeah. Now here's the thing. So I am going to stamp robot, and we're going to take you off the invasive confirmation unit and tap your spine.
Of course.
Now, it may be that you were a violent robot and you actually did your things like way early, in which case you would have killed me. So what do we find when we tap your spine? Blood or oil?
I now reveal.
Yeah.
I am in fact a robot.
Okay. Yeah.
Do I tell you what kind and what I was doing?
Yeah.
So I was a patient robot, and what I had to do was introduce something new. Whenever I introduced something new to the conversation, it had to be a living thing. Which is why I was talking a lot about like, like the fucking like gym is made of like organic materials, like trees. Those are also real, to be clear.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that at all.
It's really dumb.
And in fact, that answer, I was like, oh, that was normal and not about animals. Okay, maybe we're good.
Yeah, but then I said then I started talking about like, oh, there was this gorgeous gorilla, or like, and then I started talking about, Well, and then I started talking about eggs, and I was like, wait, fuck, like the egg is not a living thing. I'm like the egg of a chicken. Like
But you didn't introduce the egg, right? I introduced the egg to the
You
conversation.
did. Okay,
So,
you
yeah.
did.
Right. Yep.
Hell yeah. Okay, that's actually a lot of fun.
Okay,
Good.
it was
Now-
intense to watch.
What questions do you have now?
So
Yeah.
yeah. So I understand how to play like now I understand for sure how to play a patient robot. That's pretty
Mhm.
clear. So my question then was, when I had just said to you the penalties, how would I have known? Like, would I just have to remember that I really fucked up and just really did not meet the demands? Like, if I had answered something without any living thing, I just keep track in my head, like, okay, I have one penalty that I have to deal with later.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just an honor system. I could have lied, I guess, technically, but
Yeah. And
why would you lie?
it-
That ruins the game. Like, so
Exactly. Right. If
Okay.
if your plan is to lie, don't. Like sometimes people forget you mentioned a boulder,
right.
but that was probably fine, right? That was in the context of the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, because it's just a 5-minute game, like we had this concern too, but in playtesting, people like mostly noticed, or if you pointed out, they're like, "Ah, fuck, you're right. Okay, all right, I lose." Like
Oh,
it's
Right.
not like in Secret Hitler where if you get your cards wrong, you ruin an hour of people's lives.
Right.
Like the worst thing
Oh,
you
right.
could do by forgetting is you
One
burn a 5-minute
round.
round.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
All
people. It's very funny. People in my chat are saying, "So I understand. If the plan is to lie, don't." Like,
Right.
the rule is, if you're lying, don't. Like,
Yeah, don't be an
a dick.
asshole. That's the
Yeah,
right.
great. That's a great, excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
And then I have a
That
quick
was-
question before we move on. If
Yeah.
Alex were a violent character, I'm just looking at these violent cards. He has
Yeah.
to
Totally.
do 2 of these 3 things. One being
Right.
like mention the same imagined thing, and this is just one of the cards. But it's like
Yeah.
like mention something 3 times, mention another thing 3 times, or perform the penalty twice. It's just 2 of the 3.
Just any 2 of the 3.
And then if you accomplish it, do you just go, "You're dead"? Like, how do you? Oh,
Sure.
You gotta,
Yeah,
like,
you wait 10 seconds and then you could just be like, "You're dead." You could do something startling.
Okay. And then
Yeah.
could
Violence
we call them
seems
out though if
fun.
we were like, "Wait a minute." Like, can you like call them out early for being a robot so you don't get murdered, or how does that work?
Yeah, this is an important thing. You can stamp robot at any time.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
You can't stamp human until you've done all the way through the last question.
Oh.
Because if your supervisor finds out you're letting people go with human papers early, it's your ass, right? Like, don't do that.
Awesome.
Use the full legally allowed 5 minutes. But yeah, like if I had thought I was in danger, like if Alex had been doing a second thing around animals, I would have been like, okay, I think he's violent, and maybe ended it early.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
great. This is a lot of fun.
Okay,
This
I'm
is a
ready
lot of
for the
fun.
next round. Casey, you're up, right?
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
that's right.
Mhm.
And if you're the investigator, I just have a question about the investigator cards that I'm
Yeah,
looking at.
Totally.
So there's primary and secondary.
Yes.
Can you ask them in any order, but you have to go through all the primaries and then all the secondaries, or
Absolutely. Here's the rule for like the only actual rules constraints on the conversation are what's on the robots cards.
okay?
You can use the primaries and secondaries however you want. They're not like rails that you're stuck on.
Okay.
They're meant to guide you so that we're not talking about imagination and I get distracted and I'm like, tell me about how you do your hair, which is a question I had several times during that round, but I managed to not get sidetracked.
A question you had for Alex.
Yeah, what is going on there? How is the question I mostly had, but that's not about imagination. So
I've
those are
really-
like, oh, go ahead.
A really quick question for you, because a few people have asked in my chat. They're saying, how many people can play this game at once? And to me, I guess the answer is as many as you want. It's just that it's going to be 1v1. You know what I mean? Like so it'll pretty much be like you could have 100 people playing if you wanted to, but like only 2 will be playing at a time and everybody else is just giggling and watching.
Yeah, that's right.
Great.
You could conceivably, I guess, because you have the investigator cards, you could conceivably hand them out and let multiple people ask the questions, right? Sort of. I don't know.
Sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah, you could do that. It breaks pretty quickly once you have like part of my job as the investigator is that I have too much going on. Like as soon as you have multiple people like watching, it gets like too easy for the investigators to like divide up
Okay.
the job or whatever. But like, sure, you could do that. The game. So like Alex is right about like the core game is like it's a 1v1 interview, but it's 5 minutes and it cycles really quickly.
Right.
So it's like weirdly almost like a 2-player party game. It's because it's not like you don't want to sit in the hot seat like several times. It's almost too intense to play with just two people for more.
I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty exhausting to like really keep that up, because it's like people might say like there are a lot of games right now that are very popular that involve like deception. You know, we've got like there's some things in Jackbox, there are some things in like Among Us, but like I will genuinely say that 5 minutes of that was like a lot more stressful. I was really like, I mean, it is fully someone just trying to crack you open and you're trying not to do it, which is why I talked about chickens. Like I really like lost the thread.
Well, and also like to Tommy's point, it is fun to watch, which thank God, because we're broadcasting it. But like I wasn't bored watching that. I was very interested.
All right, let's do Casey's. I want to watch Casey's.
Yeah.
And more importantly, get to Abby's.
I want to play the game.
The game it ships with scenarios that can also like more people can play. Like there's one that we call like Poker Night at the Robot Factory, which is like in the world where these robots exist. It's presumably there are more interactions than just this weird interview. So there are ways to adapt it for more players, but the core game is just is this one-on-one. Okay, I'm gonna draw some penalty cards.
All right, and I write down whatever the penalty is, right?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea, just so you have it in mind. Let's see, some of these are less good when you're streaming. All right. Your options here are say a word with at least 5 syllables and say 3 consecutive words beginning with the same letter.
Oh my God.
Oh God. All right. Well, my goal here is don't fuck up, so I have to do either of these. It's what was it? Say 3 words that start with the same letter. 3 consecutive words. That's what I'll go with.
Great. Say 3 consecutive words beginning with the same letter. And before we expose you to a robot behavioral catalyzer, we're going to calibrate the machinery. So could I have you say 3 words beginning with the letter B?
Bears, balloons, bouncing.
Okay, great.
A fun afternoon.
Could I have you say 3 words beginning with the vowel of your choice?
Eating eggs excitedly.
Great. Yeah, see, you're zoning in on it. That's more of a sentence. And one more time, 3 letters. Let's say boy's choice.
Sorry.
Boy's choice?
Yeah, that's an Arrested Development. The mother boy is like, okay, we're gonna do a dance. Boy's choice.
Yeah, I
Does that mean Casey's choice?
So I mean, I choose a letter.
Casey chooses which mother to dance with. Yes.
All right, carrying cuddly cats.
Perfect.
Fun.
Okay, we've calibrated.
Just a thought.
Next, we need to decide what thing you want to prove you can do a normal human amount.
Great question.
Did we already decide if he was a human or a robot, or no?
Nope, because first we have to decide what module we're doing so that he can pick from that deck.
Man, all right, moral failings, please.
Moral failings. Woo!
Why not get spicy?
Yeah. So you're gonna roll a d12. If you got a 1 to a 6, you're a human.
Okay.
Otherwise, just starting at the first.
Let me just open the PDF.
Yep.
Okay.
Otherwise, starting just at the first patient robot card, just count 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Before you guys start playing, really quickly, just so my brain understands.
Totally.
If you're a human, there are no limits to the things you can say.
That's right.
Excellent. Thank you.
Which is the gift and the curse of being a human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a curse?
Being able to say anything?
Yeah.
Yeah. You get back from a party and you're like, oh my God, I could say anything. And I said that.
Interesting.
Well, I also have the challenge now. If I were a human, to convince him I'm a human and not accidentally say things that form a false
Right,
pattern.
right.
That fucking just sound weird, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So if I accidentally slip into alliteration, I'm fucked.
That happens to you all the
Yeah.
time.
Casey, next we're going to get your background. So your options here are renowned professor, motivational speaker, or dean of a clown college.
Dean of a clown college.
Dean of a clown college.
Yes. Also, Alex, you just brought out like a thing of whiskey and your hair was all in your face. And you look so emo for a second.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, that was just fun for me to see.
Sorry, dude.
Okay. It says here you're the dean of a clown college. Tell me about that. How'd you end up in that line of work?
Oh, it's a family business, honestly. My
Okay.
father was the dean of a clown college. His father was the dean of a clown college.
So deaning specifically, not just clowning.
Yes.
Oh,
And
that's
his father was a clown. So 3rd generation dean, 4th generation clown.
You know what they
Wow.
say? Those who can't clown, teach. And those who can't teach, dean.
Honk honk.
Could I have you state your name for the record?
Yeah, Thaddeus P. Floppy Shoes.
P. Floppy shoes. Is that hyphenated or all one word?
One word.
How do you spell it?
Floppy shoes, just like it sounds.
What?
With a Y in the middle.
With a
not
PH
an
or a... I'm just seeing if the alliteration starting or not.
Great. Mr. Floppy Shoes, in a moment, I'm going to ask you some questions about your moral failings. These will require you to share bad things you've done and discuss why they were wrong. Answer honestly and to the best of your ability. If you're a human, you have nothing to fear. Do you have any questions before we get started, Mr. Floppy Shoes?
Nope, I have nothing to hide except a very long handkerchief inside my pants.
Please
funny.
remain calm.
Thank you.
Do not attempt
That's
to
funny.
leave the room. This will all be over
Hey, you
soon.
should go to clown school.
5 minutes starts now.
Mr. Floppy Shoes, what would you say is your most hypocritical habit or personal failing?
Well, as the dean of a clown college, I frequently have to scold students for wasting school resources, such as seltzer water and cream pies, which we need for classes, but they're just using them for pranks. But really, when I'm off the clock, that's what I like to do, is toss a few pies around. So I feel bad when I do it, but I have to. We have limited resources at the school.
Okay, and what is it that you tell yourself to make it feel okay when you're wasting seltzer water or banana cream pies?
Well, I have to let off some steam, or else I won't be able to run the school well. And, I have to be able to do the things I'm teaching, even when it's outside the classroom. So even though it's hypocritical, it's
4 minutes
necessary.
remain.
I see. Okay. Let's see. What's the worst thing you've ever done to another person?
Oh my God. Wow. Well, one time, we got a new clown at the school, and he swore up and down that he was claustrophobic, and we didn't believe him. And then on the day of finals, we made him get into the car first. And then 40 other clown students piled into the car, and he screamed and honked and squirted his flour from the back, begging to be let out. And everyone thought it was a bit. And I laughed. I laughed very hard. And he had to be taken away in an ambulance and never returned to the school. And I still feel bad about it.
Who were you trying to impress when you bullied this new clown?
That's an interesting question.
3
I don't know
minutes
that I was
remain.
trying to impress anyone directly, but I think probably the memory of my father and his father, who ran the school. They're always sort of with me,
So you're trying to live up to your father's legacy.
Absolutely.
Who else have you hurt in trying to emulate your father?
Jesus.
Wow. Oh my goodness, that is quite a question. Well, my wife didn't want me to go into clowning or deaning. When we met, I didn't want to be anything like my dad. And then, I sort of slipped into trying to impress him. And, she wanted me to be a doctor or a dean of a regular school. But I didn't listen, and the marriage fell apart, unfortunately.
So there's no longer a Mrs. Floppy Shoes?
No.
Oh.
No, she went back to her maiden name, which was Funny Hat.
2 minutes remain.
Did she also come from a clowning family?
No, they changed her name at Ellis Island to Funny Hat.
How have you been able to forgive yourself for? Tell me about a bad thing you did and what it took to forgive yourself.
Oh wow, a bad thing I did. Well, I did sleep with a student. And I slept with a student at the college many years ago. When she came into the room with that great big smile that went literally from ear to ear and that bright red nose, I instantly fell for her. And I swore I wouldn't let it affect how we graded her, but who knows if it did. Sorry, what was the second part of the question?
And have you forgiven yourself for that?
More or less, in sort of dark nights of the soul. I still think about it.
What were the negative consequences of you doing that? Were there any?
Not outwardly. She eventually told me that I took advantage of her naivete, and it was unfortunate, and I have a lot of guilt about it, but there were no direct negative consequences.
Okay, so it sounds like you actually got away with it. Then it's not clear that, I don't know that forgiveness is really the thing there. What would you say is the thing you
30 seconds
most wish you had control over that you don't?
Oh wow, monkeys for sure. Absolutely, monkeys.
Tell me about a time.
Go ahead, please.
Tell me about a time you're failing to have control over monkeys hurt someone else.
Well, graduation ceremony 2016,
10,
we
9,
let a lot of
8,
them loose.
7,
Thought they were well trained,
6,
and several
5,
people
4,
were hospitalized
3,
when I couldn't
2,
control them.
1. Investigator, please make your final determination.
Okay. Wow.
Shoes.
Holy shit.
Floppy Shoes is a fucking dirty clown.
Yeah, he really came to play.
Honk honk.
Wow.
All right, so I'm going to ask you one final question.
Oh. Are you a human?
This is your last chance to perform any penalties you may have. Otherwise, just keep it simple. Jesus, what question could I have? What would you say is your least clown-related hobby?
Oh, well, I do so much clown weirdness all day. Sometimes at the end of the night, I like to go down and I like to build World War II scale battleship models in my basement, which is the most normal thing I can think of for a 50-year-old dean of a college. And I don't tell anyone about it, but that's what I do.
Holy shit. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to stamp human, and you can show this on your way out. So what's going to happen now, if normally what we would do is shake hands, but here we're just going to like wave to each other, or put your hand over your heart. And if you're human, you're going to do it normally. And if you're a robot, you're going to make it weird. Okay? Any questions about that? Okay. Nope. Thank you very much for coming in today.
My pleasure.
Oh, that was very normal. Okay.
Yeah.
Normal.
Frustratingly normal.
There was two. It seemed as though he had no limits on what was being said. I was like, there's no way.
I am Bradley Cooper limitless.
Yeah, that was fucking good.
You're like Lucy snorting the blues shit in the bathroom of an airplane. That's from a really bad movie. It's a specific part. Lucy.
Oh, Lucy. To knowledge.
Remember that part?
I love that movie
because
wild.
It's
so insane.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Okay, my turn.
Whew.
Yeah.
We're not gonna post more to talk about the
Oh, sorry. To Casey's. We played your round.
All right, yeah,
No,
all
no,
right.
wait,
Abby
wait,
Street.
is there
Tommy,
something you wanna
you're good. You're good. Still being the investigator
Sure.
for one more round.
Yeah, I can do another one. Absolutely.
Okay.
Any questions after that one? That was great, Casey. That was
Thank you very
really,
much.
really good.
Yeah, good work.
Thank you.
Go ahead,
I was
Alex.
just gonna say, great. I'm very glad that happened immediately after mine because it's pretty clear. Like, I maybe it's not actually that clear, to be honest, because that story was so fucking. But is that a good example of like purposely trying to like make the story so fucking like what? Like, if you're the human, is your goal to be fucking weird to make us not really know?
No,
the goal is
normal
to convince Tommy that I'm human.
Right.
It went weird because I got dean of a clown college, which is an inherently funny prompt. But if it had just been like mayor or whatever, it would have been a lot calmer, I think.
Great.
Yeah, well, that's why we don't have cards that say mayor. That's why your other options were like
Mayor McCheese or whatever.
Right, exactly. Were what? Professor and motivational speaker. They all tend to be pretty weird. So, like, just looking at the robots he could have been. So, like, you may not admit to having any bad intentions. He basically didn't do that until he got to preying on a student, which was really leaned into moral, which like when you said let's go for it, you weren't kidding.
This is a character, to be clear.
No, I thought it was fun.
No, for sure. No, that was great. That was super good.
School, yeah.
Or you may not use absolute language, only relative language. So, like, if you're really tricky, you can get through this. The other thing is, I totally lost track of tracking the first letters of words he was saying.
I tuned in a little bit here and there, like you said, World War II, and I was like, what did you say before that? But it was fine.
Right, exactly. So, like, as hard as those are to do, they are just as hard to track. And so, Casey, the other strategy he could have done if he was a robot is he could have just blown through his condition a couple times and been like, I can make it. Like, I'll make it up later. All right. Okay.
Yeah, you all stopped right when
Well, it's because I realized I was like rolling it down here, but like you can't do that with the way our cameras are set.
Yeah, it looks like
you absolutely cannot.
Yeah,
no, you can't do
which
that.
I mean, I am, but
with the other hand.
All right, so Abby,
my feet.
Before you roll, I know we're gonna pick a penalty. You're in. Or you
can roll it and then remember the number.
No. This is fine. Okay, I know. I don't want to roll yet.
Your options are say 2 consecutive rhyming words or ask for clarification.
I want ask for clarification.
Okay, great. Before we find out,
you should jot that down because you might forget.
Okay.
Before we expose you to a behavior catalyzer, I need to perform the calibration. So I'm going to need you to perform the penalty for me, please.
Sorry, could you say that again?
Yeah, I need you to perform the penalty that we just agreed on.
What does that mean, though?
It means I need you to ask me for clarification.
Okay, like in any way or?
Perfect. Great. Okay, that's 3. Okay.
Honestly, that was so good that I was like, Abby, do what he says.
I'm stupid.
Great. Nope, that was perfect. Abby, what thing would you like to prove you can do a normal human amount today?
Grief catalyzers.
Oh, you guys are getting real spicy all night. I love that. Great. So now you can go ahead and roll that D12.
Okay. Yes. Fine.
Roll that.
Beautiful D12 footage.
Yeah. Roll that Mountain Dew weird rock.
Okay.
Great. So if you got 1 to 6, you're a human.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, just start at the first patient robot and count through the cards until you get to your card. You got it?
Yeah. I'm just looking over everything.
Totally. Okay. Finally, I need to make sure I have the right suspect. So I'm going to show you some backgrounds, and you're going to tell me which one is yours.
Oh, my chat's not working. Thank you, it's Dappa. I just want to say that because my chat's not working.
What?
Somebody in my chat said something nice. I can't respond to it, so I just wanted to say thank you.
That is nice. Thank you to them too. I want to thank them as well.
Your options here are conspiracy theorist, decorated robot war
Very
veteran,
old.
and very old. Yep. Okay.
Very
old.
good.
Should we do characters
very
too, or
good.
is that just annoying? Like
Do what?
voices and stuff.
No, you're
Oh,
please by
yeah,
all means.
I would have done one, but I'm terrible at. I'm
Yes,
genuinely
I'm
very
an
bad
old
at character
lady,
voices.
so ooh.
We used to have one in playtesting that said "small child," but it turns out it was totally OP because the only other thing that is as useless as a robot that has a constraint is a small child that can't do anything. It was like the perfect
Yeah.
cover.
Right.
Uh,
pooping in my pants. That's all I can do.
Right, exactly.
I hate that.
Wow, it says here you're very old. So maybe
Ooh.
some records got burned up at some point. Tell me, how old are you?
I'm 107. Thank you for
107.
asking, young man.
That is very old.
Yes.
Could I have you state your name for the record?
My name. I almost had the same name as Casey's clown. I thought that would have been funny, but my name is Bethany Fanny.
Bethany Fanny. Can you spell
I hope
Fanny
you're
for
not
me?
British.
Vagina. Bethany Fanny. Thank you.
It's spelled vagina.
Yep.
But it's pronounced Fanny?
Yes. Ooh.
Mrs. Fanny,
Yes. It's Mish, by the way. Miss.
Miss Fanny,
Yes.
failure to giving incomplete or false information on an identity compliance audit, as you know, is grounds for serious repercussions, including long detainments. So I'm going to ask you one more time. Could you spell your last name for me?
Fanny. I'm sorry, officer. I just wanted to flirt a little.
Okay. Wow. Boy, they sure did things different back in the 3100s, huh?
Ooh,
Okay.
I should know.
I would have believed you if you'd stuck with it the second time. Miss Fanny,
Yes.
in a moment, I'm going to ask you some questions about processing grief. These will require you to share various tragic experiences from your life, discuss how you dealt with them, and reflect on their impact. Answer honestly and to the best of your ability, and if you're human, you have nothing to fear. Do you have any questions for me, Miss Fanny?
No questions. I understand completely.
Great.
I'd love to get your number, though, if that's a question I could ask.
Okay, well, let's take it
Please remain
one
calm.
at a time.
Do not
Huh?
attempt to leave the room. This will all be over soon. 5 minutes starts now.
You're very old,
Oh,
Miss Fanny.
Yes.
Tell me about a time tell me something that you wish you'd never learned.
Oh, now that's a wonderful question. I wish I never learned how to drive, you know? I feel like most of my life's problems have been moving away from my 3 blocks. Am I right? You know, it's like when you're driving and you think the whole world's your oyster, you don't see the little things right in front of your nose. And I feel like I've passed too many little things up, so now I just go for it and I just try to grab life by the throat.
So you wish you'd never learned how to drive of all the
Yes.
things that you okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And tell me more about like how you were hurt by knowing how to drive. It sounds like what was the
5
downside
minutes
there?
remain.
I just feel like I have so many horrible memories from inside of a car. You know, I lost my first husband to a car accident, and I was the one driving it. So, you know, really, I'm to blame, and that it hurt. It hurt quite a bit. But, you know, then I met another husband, and he was a cross-country trucker, so I really wasn't responsible for that death, but he did die that way. You know, and then, I don't know, I just feel like if my world was smaller, I couldn't have been hurt as much.
Tell me about a goal that you had to abandon in your life.
A goal I had to abandon. Well, oh, not to bring things down too much, but I really wanted kids. I really wanted kids, and you know what? Hope is still out there for me, sir. I never said your name, by the way. But I just, it just wasn't in the cards. I thought I was gonna have them in my 20s, and then I thought I was gonna have them in my 30s, and then I thought I was gonna have them in my 40s, and here we are, and I've got no kids. I've come so close, so very close, but. Maybe in heaven I'll have some children. I don't know.
I doubt it. What was the last thing that made your father cry?
Oh my goodness. Oh, it was probably when my mother died. That just broke his heart. He was there for it the whole time. He held her hand as she breathed her last breath. And I saw the single tear roll down his cheek. And then 15 minutes later, he was dead too.
Wow.
Yes. Tragic.
I suppose. Tell me about the most important apology you never got to make.
It was probably to my dog Fido. When Fido was just a puppy,
2 minutes
Actually, I'm
remaining.
going to stop you there. Tell me about the most important apology you did manage to make in your life.
Did. Oh, okay. Anyway, I apologized to the president of our country because, I was a third-party candidate, and I really almost made her lose her presidency, and it was just selfish of me. I was on a wild tear, and I thought I could do it, but really, she was only a few votes away from missing out, and I'm so sorry for that. I think about it all the time, and thankfully she still won, but, it was tough for me.
Okay. Because the most important apology being to a dog, that seems weird.
Well,
to
that's
me.
the one I didn't do.
But,
Then
you must be very good at
ones.
apologizing.
No. I could pull other ones if that seemed weird.
I'm just suggesting, like, if that's the weirdest one
1
you didn't
minute.
make, you must have made a lot of important apologies in your life.
Yes. I try to say what I want to say, but with the dog, we couldn't communicate because it was a dog. So I could never apologize for when I ate the dog's bone in front of it.
What was the most difficult decision you've ever had to make?
Now that's a toughie. Difficult decision I ever had to make would probably be the decision to...
Oh, no.
30 seconds.
Probably the decision to get my teeth fixed. It changed my appearance completely, and people no longer saw me as who I was, which was a down-to-earth girl next door kind of gal, but instead saw me as some kind of like highbrow fixture.
I'm going to go ahead and just end this
9,
now. I'm going to go ahead and stamp
8,
robot.
7.
Because I don't want to get murdered right here at the
How
end.
do I fix this? I'm
No,
not
it's
a
fine.
robot. I'll do the hand
So-
on the hand on the heart thing.
Please
I'm gonna
Sorry.
just-
It's really
no, that's
hard.
fine.
I should have picked
You
a
can
different
show this
character.
on your
I'm
way
so sorry.
outside.
I'll do anything. I'm flexible.
So they'll go ahead and take you down to the invasive confirmation unit.
Okay. What does that involve? Invasive? That sounds fun.
It's a spinal tap. What do they get when they tap your spine?
I'm human. You
God.
tap the spine of a
Damn
107-year-old woman. I'm sorry.
You really are
Oh,
human.
God.
I'm a wild card, apparently.
Abby.
I realized as I was doing it, I was like, oh my God, everything I'm saying is insane and absurd.
Well,
Yeah.
but Abby, the thing that freaked me out is up until the last round just then, I don't know if this is one of the cards, but you had used numbers in every single
Oh.
one. And I was like, maybe it's me looking too hard for patterns, but you said in my 20s, my 30s, my 40s.
I thought you were
going to
list every decade as a bit. I thought you were going to go from your 20s to your 100s as a bit when you
I
started
was
that.
thinking about it, but then I was like, that might be too robotic. People might think I'm a robot. And then as I was doing more, by the time I got to the dog one, I was like, oh shit. This
When he
ain't
asked you
good.
after you started talking about that dog and he asked you what your biggest regret was, I was like, she's going to talk about putting this dog down. That's really where I thought that was going. Tommy, why Robot?
Yeah. Well, as Abby said, everything she said was insane. and there was a lot of dying, but not a lot of other grief. I know, but like I tried to ask a lot of questions. I got like, what is the most important apology you never got to make? And then it was a dog, and I was like, just say anything normal about a human that isn't that human dying.
Right.
And then I was like, what? No, totally. No, but that's okay, right? Like this is like, whether it's numbers or like relationships with humans, like Alex has already keyed in on the way, like the insane feeling of being like, what? Why do you keep doing that? Am I making up that pattern? What is going on here?
And that's to genuinely compliment your game. That's fucking wild because I'm not the kind of person who does that shit and looks for patterns and things, but like you made the whole idea has made me paranoid. Well, it's made me paranoid. And like, what's also wild, Abby, is that you genuinely did it. Every question you used a number and it felt like too much. Like I was like, there's no way. Like the prompt must have been every time you talk, you have to say it, a number.
I was so bummed I got human, and then the more I did it, and like halfway through, I was like, oh my god, I sound like a robot. How do I fix this? And I couldn't. I was like, when I was like hesitating, I was like, it was because I was trying to think about like a normal human response, and I couldn't.
Right.
Anyway,
like how do I write this shit?
Will Smith said I was 40% too horny for not a robot.
That's
honestly, I really thought that character was going to be hornier, human or not. Like as soon as he started, I was like, well, this is going to be a very horny story.
Yeah.
It's going to be sad. It's going to be horny. And sometimes those things kiss.
Yeah. Really, really cool. Okay. So now my question is, how can I try to be the investigator on someone? Yeah, like would that, or do you think that would suck for the stream and not be fun to watch? Because now that the three of us like know what we're doing, would it be more fun to watch us just keep chaining these?
No, we should. One of us should be the investigator for a few.
I would love.
I would love to see Tommy as the person being investigated.
I would love to try to investigate you.
Okay.
Oh,
great.
Yeah.
And then should we roll for me and Casey after, or how do we want to do it for the investigators? We can either have Alex do a round of all of us, or.
Well, that would, I feel like that would take a year off my life. Why don't we each just try to get to do it? And then that way, each time everybody gets to be investigated by somebody.
All right, Alex, you investigate Tommy and then I'll investigate Abby.
So what do I have to, people in my chat are telling me to go into my closet. That's great. People in my chat are telling me to go into my closet and get the Batman suit that I have in my closet.
Oh, hell yeah.
I will not be doing that, but let it be known that yes, Batman still is the world's greatest detective. However, Alex is the investigator tonight. I'm sorry that I would not be.
How we're gonna do it? Alex investigates Tommy. Casey investigates me. I investigate Alex. Tommy investigates Casey.
That's perfect.
Sure.
So,
sure.
Alex, Tommy, Casey, me, Alex.
Yeah. Yes.
I believe that makes a circle.
Great.
Amazing.
Sounds good.
Okay. So what do I got to do?
Great. So
I'm gonna be right back.
Yeah, go ahead. Go pee.
Go ahead.
But do we want to take like a quick break before we get started into the next thing? She's gonna poop. It's gonna be longer. 1 second.
Are you talking to me? I'm not actually gonna poop.
I was saying, do we want to just like take a quick, everyone just go get a glass of water and come right back in like a minute?
I was going to be real quick, but if that's what y'all would like to do,
I could use a glass of water. We'll
I also think this is the beauty of this game is that people can be doing it without us sitting there the whole time. So the audience
That's true. It'll just be us. You two
I'll be right back.
I'll be here with
I'll be
Tommy.
right back. You do what you want to do.
Yes, I'll be right here.
Great.
Okay. Talk to me.
Yep. So have you looked at a set of the prompts yet?
Small talk prompts?
Sure. Open them up. Let's talk.
Okay.
Let's talk through what's going on here.
Okay. I've got 4. Oh, many more than 4. Okay.
Right. Well, so you've got 6.
6.
You've got 3 primaries and 3 secondaries. And the way these work is they're meant to be like they're modular. You can use any secondary to extend to any primary. Right. So you can. That first one is, what are you doing this weekend?
Well, I've got right here just for your brain. I've got share a short-term goal or plan, and then I've got what are you doing this weekend and how will tomorrow be different from today.
Right. Now, these are not meant to be rails that you're stuck on. You can use these at any, like you can improvise at any level you want. If you want to just stick to the sample questions, great. if you want to make up your own question about short-term plans or goals or whatever else like that primary text is on any of them, like you can also improvise your own questions.
Great.
So don't feel like you're stuck with these. Okay.
Great.
Then if you go down a page, the secondaries, any secondary plugs in with any primary. So let's say you asked me like, what am I doing this weekend? And I'm like, I'm going to stay at home because it's the safe thing to do.
And how does that make you feel?
Right, exactly. It's
amazing.
Bad and kind of numb. Yeah.
I'm doing the
Did
same,
you choose a category? Sorry.
No, not yet. I'm just explaining how these things work. If I say something weird, don't feel like you have to be like, oh, that was weird. Anyway, next question. Like you can, right? You can chase that down. You are not like married to these. These are here to help you make sure you're in the right neighborhood.
Amazing. Awesome.
Cool.
Wow, that must have been fucking really hard to balance. Anyway.
Also, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but Anthony Caldwell in my chat said Miss Fanny didn't need a spinal tap. She needed a tap of that big hunky nurse. Anyway, carry on.
No, that was great. Thank you, Abby, for that.
Oh my God.
Sorry. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is we'll agree on a penalty. Yep. I'm going to show you 3, and you're going to pick 1 to discard.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yep, totally. That draw 3, discard 1 is a totally original mechanic I came up with just for this game. That doesn't exist in any other games. I have not used it ever before. Let's see. Get ones that do not for in person. All right. So we've got.
Let me also say, when Will introduced this game to us, he was like, "Oh yeah, it made me cry." And I think at my reaction, I don't know about anyone else, was like, "What is he talking about? It made him cry." And I can see, if you don't have the characters, how this could absolutely cause you to just like have a breakdown.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Especially on the grief or the failings one.
Oh my
like,
God.
Oh yeah.
Like we played this for 20 minutes. I'm like, okay, yes, this would destroy me.
Yeah, I'll never be playing Alex in this.
It was like 5 a.m. after on the 3rd day of a convention we were playing, and I think we asked questions actually that ended up in the self-image module. So,
oh geez,
yeah,
excellent.
So we've got say a word with at least 5 syllables, say 2 consecutive rhyming words, and restate a question in your own words. And you're going to get rid of one of those.
Get rid of restate a question.
Okay, great. I'm going to go with say a word with at least 5 syllables.
Okay.
So you're going to want to write that down so you know that's what you're watching out for.
Oh my God. This is hard. Okay.
And the first step is you're going to ask me to calibrate.
All right.
Actually, from that page that you're on, if you want to use the VK82 electronic form, that's basically like a Google form that will take you through the steps that set up the round.
Oh wow. Okay. So great. So I'll start asking this, right? What's your email address? I'm kidding.
Trying to steal focus with
sorry,
Blackberries.
People were asking when chat, and I'm just doing my own thing for a second. Carry on.
Okay. So the penalty selected was 5 syllables, right? Right. Penalty selected with 5 syllables. Suspect has performed the penalty first time, second time. Okay, so go ahead. Why don't you just come up with a word that's 5 syllables long?
Great. This is easy. I can definitely do this. Indubitably.
Do it again.
Mellifluously.
Yes, good job. I had to check.
Yeah.
One more time.
Anachronistic.
Incredible work. Good job. So
Thank
you're all
you.
calibrated correctly. That's awesome. So what module have we selected? What are you feeling? Small talk, creative problem solving, imagination. What are you feeling?
Anything in particular you want to take me through?
Yeah. Why don't we take you through creative problem solving?
Great.
Because we haven't seen that yet.
Okay.
About the orders of
Yeah, don't worry about the letters. You just
great. Skip that.
note for that. Yep.
So what's the deal? What's your name? Who are you?
Yeah, let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and just draw some.
Sorry to jump in here. I'm having some technical problems, so if you are one of the scant few people watching on my stream, please go watch on Abby and Alex's. We're gonna keep playing, but I am gonna end my stream.
But still
right.
follow and subscribe to Casey because he's great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna fix this when we're not in the middle of the game. All right. Good night. Good night to anyone watching. See you on the other stream.
I am a reality TV contestant.
Reality TV contestant. Amazing. Okay. I love Survivor, so that's going to be great. And what's your name? Person who's vying for $1 million.
My name is Chadwick. And I was on season 67 of The Bachelorette.
Wow.
And then I was the 68th Bachelor. And then I was on seasons 102, 103, and the back half of 105 of Bachelor in Paradise.
Amazing. So you were late to the party, Bachelor in Paradise. They brought you in. Things weren't working out for some people. And you're the one who famously married
twice, yes. I'm the one who we got double married. That's right.
I don't want to interrupt, but did we start the timer?
We did not. No, we're just in the getting my...
Phase. Can you remind me of the prompt run?
Yeah, we're doing creative problem solving.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
No
anyway, spectacular. So we're good here. I think it's time to begin the timer, huh?
Great. So before we begin the timer, you're going to read that first page, the cover sheet, that has like a paragraph you're going to read.
Okay. In a moment, I'm going to ask you some questions about creative problem solving. These will require you to solve various hypothetical problems, my friend. Then modify your solutions based on your certain constraints. Answer honestly. If you're a human, you have nothing to fear, creator of this fucking game. So you start that puppy. It's time to go.
Please remain calm. Do not attempt to leave the room. This will all be over soon. 5 minutes starts now.
Amazing. So why don't you go ahead and describe for me how you would overcome an unusual obstacle? I mean, like, let's say you're in a landslide. Rocks are coming down. How would you survive this? What are you going to do?
Well, if there's a landslide coming, I suppose I try to scan for cover. And if there's cover, I head towards the cover as quickly as possible. And if I don't see cover, I look for like a height that I can get to, like there's a tree or something. And if I don't see a tree or cover, then I run diagonal rather than just straight down, trying to get out around the landslide, but still heading down. So I'm not just running sideways when a rock fucking takes me out.
Of course. Interesting. Okay, that was pretty creative, and you solved a problem, so good job. So I have a question. How would you...
4 minutes remain.
Okay, ma'am. How would you solve an unsolvable problem? You can't get out. I'm going to tell the department you're a robot, and there's nothing you can do about it. What are you going to do?
Well, historically, the most unsolvable problems that I've had to solve have been problems of the heart. And so I suppose I would begin by asking you about your interests until we found one that was a common interest, and then I would share my experience with that. And then I would see if you were feeling like if you were an aggressive kisser or not. Sometimes a bachelorette really likes to kiss, and sometimes a bachelorette is like holding you off. So that's how I would that's my game plan, I think, to try to get you to not mark me as a robot.
Okay, fascinating. Now, why don't you come up with a problem that would be solved by a given solution?
3 minutes remain.
So, let's say okay, normally you want to defuse a bomb. What sort of problem could you solve by building a bomb?
I need to ingratiate myself to a bachelorette's parents, and her parents are terrorists.
Oh, fuck.
That's a problem that would be solved by building a bomb.
I think I have nothing to say beyond that, and that stopped me dead in my absolute tracks. So I'm gonna keep on rolling. Okay, so let's say separatists. I didn't realize this was a politically correct. Oh, right. Sorry. Yes, of course. Of course. Well, why don't you? Okay. So how about, let's say, crazy to say, why don't you? I want you to explain your thought process, arriving at a solution. So like, let's say that last question that made me very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
What was the
2 minutes remain.
what was the thought process there? What made you? How'd you get there?
Yeah, so a thing that I've learned in my reality show experience is like one person's obstacle is another person's opportunity. And so when you said like a problem that would be solved by building a bomb, I thought, okay, well, who has problems created for them by bombs? Usually like the state or people who want there to be order. And that means that the people who solve problems by building them are people who want to like sow chaos or discord. And so I thought, oh, okay, I have to impress a terrorist. And, you know, it could be any, but like the most plausible version in my line of work is there's a bachelorette whose parents have strong political views.
Right, of course. And you can't really call it work if it's you know, if it's your passion, and being a reality show contestant is your passion. I understand. Okay, well that's really interesting. Was that 1 minute? I believe that was 1 minute.
1 minute left.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you to solve a problem for me, and I'm gonna add an additional obstacle. So let's say you had to build that bomb, but you can only use a screwdriver. How would you do it?
A screwdriver is, I mean, I've never actually built a bomb, but hypothetically, I would use it to like pry open parts and screw them back
30
together. So it would
seconds.
more likely be a suitcase bomb because I can like pry that open. I can pull the lining down. I can I can screw wires in. So I'd use like conductive wires rather than like any soldering for whatever parts I'm using. And that way, like I would use modular parts that screw together
10,
rather than
9,
just packing chemicals into a
7,
pipe or whatever.
6,
That's the extent
5,
of my bomb making
4,
knowledge.
3,
Fascinating. Okay,
2.
I'm ready to
1.
stamp.
Investigator,
Okay.
please make
So,
your final determination.
If you're ready, if you want to stamp robot, you can do that. If you want to stamp human, you should ask me one last question. This is my last chance to perform any leftover penalties or whatever, in case I have any of those. Otherwise, I'll keep it pretty simple.
Last questions. Can it be anything I want?
It can be anything you want.
Okay. How do you feel that interview went?
Honestly, like pretty well. Like I've never said to an investigator, I don't know, impress a terrorist and had it go well, but it did there.
I think you're a human.
That's very nice of you to say. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna put your hand over your heart and you're gonna thank me for coming in, and then I'm gonna make it weird if I'm a robot.
Okay, so hey, thank you for coming in. Fuck.
I knew
It was
it.
truly my pleasure.
I
Damn
knew
it.
it.
Well, I really felt like you were a human. What was the giveaway?
I was a patient robot, and my constraint was that I may not describe myself accomplishing a goal with fewer than 3 steps.
I could tell 'cause everything he said. Is it cheating to look at the like cards if you're the investigator?
Yes.
Okay, that's good to know.
Like while you're investigating, you probably shouldn't do that. So,
Okay,
yeah, I will say like I basically can't investigate this module anymore because I know it extremely well. This is like our demo module. I know it really, really well. But the thing that started happening was I'll focus in too fast. Someone will like start giving long answers. I'll be like, oh, they're doing the 3 steps thing. And then like 4 minutes in, they'll give a short answer. And I'm like, oh, fuck. But I've missed everything else.
Yeah.
Like I've let the rest of the time go.
That's
So
really good. That's incredibly hard. That's really great. So
You
here's
did
what I
really well.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I thought I was serviceable at best. So here's what I'll say. Oh, thanks, Abby. So here's what I'll say. I've got 20 minutes before I usually generally have to stop. So let's just go. Let's go for it. Who feels good?
For
well,
it.
I was also
Feels
the
ready.
next on the list is to me and to investigate you. So once we do that, you can go at any point because then we can finish our circle without you being here, right?
I suppose that's probably true, and
Because
that's
I
probably
investigate
the way
you,
to
and
do
then
it.
after I do that, Casey will investigate me, and then after we do that, Tommy will investigate Casey.
I also I was also going to have to bail in about 20 minutes, so we can
Okay.
yeah.
But I think we can get them done quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, let's move quick.
Okay.
I mean, technically they're 5 minutes long, so let's
I'm
do it.
investigating
Yeah.
Alex. Okay, pick
I'm
a,
absolutely
pick
fucking
a
ready.
prompt, right? That's
So-
how we start. Or no, how do we start?
You're gonna pick a penalty. So
Did you open the Google sheet?
I have it all open.
All right, great. So Abby, you're gonna get rid of. Here are your options. Say any 3 letters in a row. Say 3 consecutive words beginning with the same letter, or say the name of a punctuation mark. You're gonna get rid of one of those 3.
I want to get rid of say any 3 letters in a row.
Okay. So Alex, you pick from these remaining 2.
3 consecutive words beginning with the same letter.
Great.
Okay,
Now,
Alex,
Abby, you're gonna.
Could you we just need to test the system. Could you please
Yep.
do the penalty?
Yes, of course. Awesome aardvarks around.
Okay, can we get it just another time? Sorry, you started on that one. I want to make sure the machine got it.
Yeah, of course, I understand. Billy Bigelow blows.
Okay, great. I actually know Billy Bigelow, so can we do another one just in case he hears this?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, looks
Abby.
like we got it.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Great. So now we need to figure out who you are. Could you just tell me about who you are? Because we're gonna pick a card for you.
You're gonna pick a module. You're gonna pick
module?
now. You pick what subject you want to do?
Okay, we're actually gonna do the subject first. So you choose boy's choice.
Yeah.
Which mom
Let's-
do you want to dance with?
Let's go. Let's go self-image.
Self-image. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. And now.
So now you'll pick your character. Your options are, let's see, former ambassador, freelance robot hunter, and the butcher.
Oh, the butcher.
Yeah, that's the correct answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the butcher. The butcher's in quotes.
Okay, the butcher.
The butcher.
And as I can choose any of these questions, or one
Yes.
primary, one secondary, so I can choose any of them.
You can choose any of them, and you don't have to stick to they plug together modularly, so you can use any secondary with any primary,
Okay.
and you don't have to ask the suggested questions. Like, you can improvise your own positive question about positive qualities, or you can improvise your at any level you want. You can make up your own questions, or you can use the suggested questions, or you can go off in your own direction. But these exist to help make sure you are not totally in the dark. These make sure you're in the right neighborhood, but you've got to find the house. So, be ready to improvise as needed.
Okay. Great.
And what do I do again? I roll the
D12.
Okay.
And if you
What
got a
is it
1 to a
again?
6, you're a human. Otherwise, just start at the first patient robot and count 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 are
Got
the
it.
violent robots. Yep.
Okay. You got it?
Yep. Oh,
Mhm.
I don't actually know.
Okay, great.
Yes, I'm
So
all
we
good.
got it. I assume you've read it. Let's get the cards ready for him to introduce himself, yes?
Yeah, he has picked his role. He's the butcher. So you're gonna
Oh,
ask
right.
him you're gonna ask him to state his name.
Okay, could you state your name for me, please?
The butcher.
The butcher. And what's your title and position?
The butcher.
Should I follow up on that or no? Just save that for the...
I mean, my name is the butcher, and my title is the butcher, and I work at the butchery.
Great.
Okay. Works for me.
Just read him. Finally, you'll read him that paragraph from
Okay,
the
great.
first page, and then I'll start the timer.
In a moment, I'm going to ask you some questions about your self-image. These will require you to list some traits about yourself and then explain how they are developed. Answer honestly. If you're a human, you've got nothing to fear. Let's start the timer.
Please remain calm. Do not attempt to leave the room. This will all be over soon. 5 minutes starts now.
Okay, the butcher. What is one thing your biggest critic is actually correct about?
Well, please call me the
Oh, I'm so
Abby.
sorry.
Call me the. The thing that my biggest critic is. Say that again.
What's one thing your biggest critic is actually correct about?
Oh gosh, I mean, so many people try to say that, like, I am this butchering butcher. They think that I kill people left and right. They think that I, like, am responsible for so much, but it's really not true. I'm really not as bad as they all say that I am. However, one thing that they are correct about, and truly, but by they I mean like everybody who's ever investigated me whatsoever. I really do love. I really, 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 really do love SoCycle.
Oh.
That's been a calling card I've read in the newspapers. It actually is true. I do love to
4
spin,
minutes
and
remain.
it feels good.
I was going to comment, your ass is high and tight, so great work there.
Thank you
what would you say
so
is
much.
your greatest weakness?
Oh my god, my greatest weakness. That I would say my greatest weaknesses. I mean, it's that I care too much, Abby. I care too much.
Okay, interesting. Now that's very much like I'm just going to follow up on that a little bit. So you care too much. What would you say you care too much about?
All of it. I mean, I care about America. I care about the state that our fellow citizens are in. I care about how we are viewed overseas. I care about so many things, but mostly I care about the butching and the butchery that I do.
I guess I have a question. In what ways would your parents disagree with that assessment?
3 minutes remain.
My parents, I mean, Jesus Christ, my parents, like, can we get them on the same page about anything? I feel like they as a like a collective unit would feel like they would feel like I don't care, and they would feel like I don't listen to the needs of just like the country and the needs of the people around me and all of the the various whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, I, as the butcher, I contain multitudes, and it's really upsetting to me that people think that I only care about butching. And like butching, yes, it's a priority because it's what I do for work, and I am in a fucking union, and I have to do these things. But I think that like we need to all calm down collectively and just like let me butch.
What would a stranger at a party misunderstand about you?
A stranger at a party. Well, I mean, everybody
2
always
minutes
says,
remain.
everybody always says that I'm so cruel, I'm so mean. They look at the sunken eyes and they say, "Oh, that's the eyes of somebody who butches all day and night." But what if I just told you that I am Italian, and every member of my extended family has these deep
I'm just
sunken
going to say
eyes?
you're a robot here and now before you murder me. So let's take you down to the investigation room. We're going to do some invasive investigation. I've stamped your robot card. Could you tell me the results of the spinal tap?
Okay. Do I do it?
Yeah. You got your spine tapped. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I am in fact a patient robot.
Knew it.
Hey!
It's because every time I asked you a question about yourself, it was always spun around to be something positive, and I'm like, that seems sus.
What's very funny
And I
about that
also-
is that it's... Go ahead. I want to hear.
I
I
also
want to
feel
know.
like you
I
repeated my questions back to me a lot. I don't know if that was
No,
just
I was-
you being you or what.
No, that was me stalling.
Okay.
Yeah. No, so I was not allowed to mention. Oops. Hang on. I was not allowed to mention individual people ever. So if you roll back the
fascinating.
tape, you will notice that I continuously kept. If you said like, "How does your mom and dad feel?" I say, "My parents," because it says here in parentheses that I'm allowed to refer to groups. So I kept grouping everybody up. So I said like Americans feel, and it was
What
very.
about when I did strangers at a party? Did you
I
say
think you said.
strangers?
So I think you said a stranger at a party.
Yeah.
And I said everyone always says.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that was really good.
It's pretty good.
I didn't know whether or not you were a robot, but when you kept saying butching over and over again, and then finally you said, "Let me alone to butch," and it killed me. It was so funny.
That was just for fun. That was just for
it was
laugh.
very funny.
I thought you did a good job, but overall sus.
Thanks very much. I feel that I will be sus no matter what role I play in this whole game.
Okay.
As like a guy, as me, as the person. I think that's gonna happen. Who's next?
I think me. Casey investigates me.
I think I was going to investigate Tommy, but I can investigate you.
No, you were going to investigate me. Yeah, no, for sure. Because that's how the circle goes. Because if you investigate Tommy, then I never get investigated.
Okay.
And then Tommy would investigate you.
Okay, sure. Sounds good.
If you want to do it a different way, that's also fine.
No, let's pick a penalty.
Who do you want to investigate, Casey?
Abby. And then
Great.
and then
it.
Tommy.
Okay.
Penalty. Yep. Let me. Ooh, that's my cue. Okay. Casey, you are going to discard one of these. Your options are compliment the investigator, use an ordinal number other than first, and don't not use a double negative.
Let's get rid of use an ordinal number other than first.
Okay. Abby?
Compliment the investigator.
Great. Okay. So, Casey, you'll calibrate your instruments.
Absolutely. Hey, please come on in and have a seat. We're just going to find out if you're a robot or not. No big deal. You comfortable?
Yes, this is a lovely office.
Thank you. Well, you're starting already.
Uh-huh.
All right. I'm just trying to calibrate my instruments. If you could give me another compliment, well, that would be sweet as peach pie.
You have the whitest teeth I have ever seen in my whole damn life.
Oh, well, now I know you're a robot because that ain't true. Just hit me with one more little compliment. Nothing too big.
Your hair, soft and shiny.
Oh, that is true. All right. Thank you very much. Now, what kind of catalyzers would you like us to test you on today?
Have we done hopes and dreams yet? I don't remember.
I don't
think
believe so.
Okay, hopes and dreams, please.
All right.
Let me know when I should roll.
Now,
yeah.
Okay.
Let me know when you're all set.
Mm-hmm.
That's yes or yes, I will let you know.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Well, in a moment, I'm going to ask you a series of questions about your hopes and dreams. These will require you to share various hopes and explore how they interact with reality. Answer honestly. If you were a human, you have nothing to fear. Yeah, Tommy, what's up?
no, that's great. We're going to get Abby a roll card.
Oh, that's right.
And then, so Abby, your options here are maker of false animals, sponsored by an energy drink brand, and pop star.
I'm going to say sponsored energy.
Yeah,
drink.
sponsored by an energy drink brand. Great.
Yeah, because I think
great.
I'm trying to get real specific with this one because I think what got me with the old lady was that it was so broad that I didn't have specifics to like tie into her. It was like all she had was she was old. You know what I mean? So energy drink.
Okay. And what's your name? What's your name, friend?
My name is Michael Monster.
Michael Monster. Any middle name there, Mr. Monster?
Michael, I love Monster.
Mr. M-I-L Monster. Got it. All
Milne,
right.
as my mom likes to call me.
Okay.
Have fun keeping this up, Casey.
We'll see. I do a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, and this is a character I go to a lot.
I'll start the timer whenever you're ready, Casey.
All right. Why don't we just start that old timer there?
Please remain calm. Do not attempt to leave the room. This will all be over soon. 5 minutes starts now.
Well, Mr. Monster, my first question for you is, what is something a lot of people wish for that will never come true?
That is a great question. You know, a lot of people wish for a high-powered, adventurous lifestyle. They wish to just live on the edge, and a lot of them are too cowardly to do it. They're too afraid. But if you drink Monster Energy drink, you can do that every single day of your life, or you can feel like you're getting close to the edge, even if you're just in your home office. It's a great drink and a great beverage, and I love it a lot.
I love your energy, sir. I love it. I wonder where you get it. Here's another question for you. So right now you're sponsored by an energy drink. What ideally would you like to be doing in 10 years?
In 10 years, I would like to be the CEO of Monster Energy. I mean, it's a long shot, but they're just such a great corporation, such a great company. I can see myself being here for life. And really, I feel like it's such a family company. I can work my way up through the top, even just as an influencer today. Because it's such a great brand. And getting energy with Monster Energy drinks, I can do it. I can achieve anything.
Well, why do you think it's such a long shot?
No, I don't think it's a long shot. I just think it'll take
time. You said it's a long shot to become the CEO of Monster Energy Drink. I was just wondering what made you think.
Well, there's a lot of layers from like influencer to like CEO. It's a lot of times I got to get promoted. But I think it'll happen eventually. You know, 10 years is a long time, and Monster Energy Drink really does make a lot of my dreams come true. So
Well, that is lovely. What now? Let me ask you, what technological advances do you most hope for in them next 10 years?
I would love for a better way to drink Monster Energy. I love the cans. I love them. But I would love a Monster Energy fountain. I would love a way to do like a hands-free
Now, when
drinking.
you say fountain, you mean like at a 7-Eleven?
I mean like at a 7-Eleven, like a soda fountain.
Oh, not like in the street.
3
I'd be
minutes
open to it.
remain.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. Now, what hardships does that hope of Monster Energy being in a fountain? What hardships does that hope sustain you through?
It really has gotten me through a lot. Often when I feel down, when I feel depressed, I chug a Monster, and even if it doesn't make me happy necessarily, it does make me get up and do stuff because I literally cannot sit still. So in that sense, I feel like, I think it's really helped me out a lot in that way.
Interesting. Now, who do you think, if there's someone working against you, who do you think that is? Who is working against that hope to keep you down?
I'd say Red Bull. Red Bull
Wow.
seems to undercut me at every step of the way. Red Bull is a disgusting drink. Every time I really don't stray from Monster ever, but
2
occasionally I'll be at a
minutes
restaurant, I'll ask for a
remain.
Monster Energy drink, and they will give me a Red Bull, and I won't realize it until I take a sip, and oftentimes it makes me vomit. So
Now,
Hmm?
is there a specific person at Red Bull, or is it just Red Bull as an entity? Could you name a specific person for
I
me?
could. Richard Red Bull.
Richard Red Bull?
Bull is the skeeviest man I've ever met. Richard Red
Oh.
Bull is the bane of my existence.
Could you tell me about the time you met Richard Red Bull?
It was at a gaming convention. I saw Richard from the other side of the room. He was in full head-to-toe Red Bull gear, and he was handing out cans. I had Monster cans, which are much bigger and more delicious, and quite frankly, a bigger crowd around.
The cans are more delicious?
Yes, the cans are delicious, and the drink is delicious. They're both delicious.
It was definitely
That's-
PAX.
That's the beauty of the Monster Red Bull. Monster Energy drink. Oh, no. Yeah, I remember seeing him. I just felt an awful energy even from across the
1
convention
minute.
room, and I knew this guy's yuck.
But you did. Oh, you see, you didn't actually meet him.
We met in the war room, and it really.
Well,
didn't
the
feel like
War
a
Room. Wow,
Yeah.
that is a fancy name for a video game convention.
Holy shit.
That's actually no. I mean, the war room. That's what it's called for when you go back there and you write up your influencer things and talk about how
Sure.
Red Bull helped me to see some games and get through Call of Duty, pwn some noobs.
Oh,
So
well,
I met Dick Red Bull, as I like to call him.
30 seconds.
In the war room, and then we exchanged some words and threw some fists. But I, of course, won because I had the power of Monster Energy drink in my veins and in my blood.
Oh, I personally would just drink it, but however you get it into you is okay by me. Now, do you have any actions you took to sort of keep
10,
keep
9,
Richard from
8,
hurting you?
7, 6,
Um,
5,
I
4,
chug
3.
Monster Energy
2,
drinks. I just chug them
1.
down deep.
Investigator,
And then-
please make your final
That's usually enough for
determination.
me.
All right, well, that is fun. Now, I guess I have a chance to ask you one final question.
That's right.
If you couldn't drink Monster Energy drink any longer, what else would you drink, and why?
I would never drink again. Never again.
You would wither and die, is what you're saying to me.
If that's what it took.
Wow, heavens, that is dramatic. All right, well, I am gonna just take my little stamp and put a little blue stamp on your hand because I think you are a human being. So let's just shake hands, and if you are, shake my hand quite normally.
Are we gonna do the chest thing?
Oh, or we can put our hand over our heart, whatever, our beating human hearts.
I love Monster Energy drink. I pledge allegiance to Monster.
Good job,
Hey,
Abby.
you're a human.
Wow, you did it.
Yeah,
I
nice
did
work.
it.
I thought so too. Somebody in my chat says, "Oh, I think Abby is human and is just sponsored as hell."
Hell yeah.
Switch partner achieved.
Oh
If
man.
only.
Wait. What a fun time.
Thank you.
No,
Yeah, this
good.
is a pleasure.
Yes.
Yes.
What a fun time.
Sorry
Honestly,
you couldn't
Abby.
go again, Casey. I'm around if you want to do another round for Casey. To
What?
be
What's
to
happening?
be investigated.
Oh, whatever. I can stick around for another 10 or so minutes. But anyway, sorry, Alex.
I should bounce just based on the rules that I've set for myself and my loved ones. However,
Smart.
however, I want to say, Tommy, what a fun time. It's been great to play this with you. To explain it, everybody in my chat has been really, really enjoying this, and don't you worry, I've copy and pasted the link to buy it upwards of 10 times. So hopefully people buy it. And I genuinely do want to say, like, I'm not getting anything out of this. I just had fun. I just had a really good time, and I
Unlike
do look
Abby,
forward
who
to
has
playing it
been
again.
paid off.
Oh, you think Monster Energy
yeah.
Drink's my only sponsor? Hell no.
Yeah,
No.
Tommy, you got that monster money?
Of course.
We agreed to 10K
in that I
this.
have fake money that you could call it is called monster money. Yes, I do.
Spooky,
Yes,
I
I'll
like it.
Pay you in monster bucks. Alex, it was great to meet you. And
Yeah,
really fun to play with
you
you.
too.
Thank you so much for
It really was a blast. Abby, thanks for inviting me. Casey,
Yeah.
good to see you.
Yeah, great
Tommy,
to see you.
Again.
thank you for your work making games that people like. More than one person in my chat has said that they kickstarted the game and
that's great.
Oh, that's
are
great.
very, very happy to have played it. So I'm happy to have. I'm sorry, I'm really
Wow,
negotiating a burp.
Burping.
Yeah.
Let it rip.
Yeah,
I really was
you're doing
negotiating
great.
the burp the whole fucking time, and I was like, we have to come clean, and Abby dealt with it before I could even have a chance to. It was really, really a great time. To the people watching my stream, I'll say goodbye to you in a second and go away. But to the people I'm playing with, thank you so much.
This
has
seems
been
like a really
fun.
great natural place to call it. I think this feels
Okay.
very
Oh,
conclusive.
okay.
So yeah,
Okay, or that.
yeah. Let's just call it an evening.
Okay.
Well,
I had a lot of fun. It was lovely seeing everyone.
I had a great time too.
What a joy.
Again, thank you everybody so much. This was a really fun night.
I'm gonna
Thanks,
find
guys.
someone to raid and then end this.
Okay, well,
Searching on my radies.
I'm gonna go leave the call now because I don't know how to deal with this in terms of Streamlabs, and I'm gonna go ahead and go to my pause screen and then leave and then say goodbye to everybody. So to the people I'm playing with, goodbye. Thank you for playing.
Bye,
a game
Alex.
with me. It was a lot of fun. Take care, Tommy. I hope it's a huge success, my friend.
Thank you very much. Bye,
All right, and Abby, have a great last week at giantbomb.com. Everybody, send your love to Abby.
What's giantbomb.com?
It is a video game website. Okay,
Anyway,
goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. So
Bye.
long, everyone. I'm going to fade to black too. Thank you, Tommy.
Bye.
Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Alex. See you later.
Bye.
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 Bye.